So I've been holding onto this purple iPhone 11 for, wow, coming up on 7 years now. It's honestly kind of wild when you think about it. Back in 2019, this was the default iPhone. Everyone had one. But now in 2026, it's a totally different story. I know a lot of you are probably wondering, can I still use this thing? Or maybe you're like me, keeping it around as a backup or a dedicated music player. Or the big question, is it finally time to jump ship to the iPhone 17? In this video, I'm not going to do the whole deep dive corporate speak thing. I just want to talk to you guys friend to friend about what it's actually like living with the iPhone 11 in 2026. We're going to cover the design, which, spoiler alert, I still kind of love the performance realities with iOS 26, the battery situation, and whether upgrading is worth that serious cash. Just for context, this purple unit isn't my main driver anymore. It's strictly for review and life updates. I actually swapped the battery recently, so it's sitting at 100% health, and it is running the latest iOS 26, but let's just say even with a fresh battery, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. So grab a coffee, let's get into it. First off, let's talk design. Honestly, I miss this. The iPhone 11 was the last time we really had these fully rounded aluminum corners. Holding this thing just feels friendly. It doesn't dig into your palm like the newer, sharper industrial designs do. My unit here is in purple and the material has held up great. No major scratches or dents. It's built like a tank. But you know, once you turn the screen on, yeah, that's where the age hits you. We're looking at an IPS LCD panel, not OLED. In 2026, those black bezels look thick, like really thick, and the display specs, it's 60 Hz. If you've used any modern phone recently, even a mid-range one, going back to 60 Hz feels like you're scrolling through molasses. Also because it's LCD, the blacks aren't black, they're dark gray. You see that backlight bleeding through, especially at night. The newer iPhone with its OLED panel just turns those pixels off, so the contrast is infinite. On here, it's just, okay, it's usable, sure, but it definitely feels like old tech. Now let's talk performance, because this is where things get interesting. This phone is running the A13 Bionic chip. Back in the day, this chip was a beast, but with iOS 26, it's struggling. I ran the numbers on Geekbench 6 recently. We're looking at 1690 for single core and 3015 for multi-core. Those numbers tell a specific story. It can still do one thing, okay, but the moment you ask it to multitask, it hits a wall. It's not broken, but there's this tiny microsecond delay between your brain wanting to do something and the phone actually doing it. And you really feel that wall in iOS 26. This update is heavy. It's got all these beautiful liquid glass blurs and layers. With a metal GPU score of 12,477, the A13 is basically redlining just to draw the home screen. It feels like the phone is thinking really hard just to render those animations. And the heat, man, just swiping around or doing basic tasks, the phone gets warm. Like noticeably warm. It's that old 7nm architecture trying to keep up with 2026 code. It feels like the aluminum frame is just saturated with heat. It's usable for calls, texting, social media, maybe some light gaming, but don't expect it to be snappy. So battery life, this is the tricky part. Like I said, I put a fresh battery in this. It's at 100% health. You'd think it would last all day, right? Nope, not even close. Honestly, for my daily usage, which is just casual stuff, life updates, social media, I'm hitting low power mode by early afternoon. The standby time is pretty bad too. I'll leave it on my desk at night and by morning, it's dropped a significant chunk. It's not really the battery's fault, it's the hardware aging. The A13 chip has to work at 100% capacity just to do what an iPhone 17 does at 10% capacity. Modern apps are just performance hungry, and this 6-year-old hardware is sweating to keep up. Let's move to cameras. We've got that classic dual 12 megapixel setup. No telephoto, just wide and ultra wide. In daylight, it's still decent. Apple has that specific color science we all know, and it actually holds up better than some entry-level Androids even today. Video quality is still great because, well, it's an iPhone. Stabilization is solid, but the moment the lights go down, that's where the gap is massive. The main lens has night mode, which is okay, but the ultra-wide, no night mode. The photos are just noisy and muddy. Compare that to the new iPhone 17, that thing is rocking a dual 40 megapixel fusion camera system. It's a total all-rounder with way more flexibility. And the results are great because the iPhone 17 has a way larger sensor than the iPhone 11. On the 11, the sensor is tiny, so the moment the lights go down, the photos get noisy and muddy. The 17's larger sensor just drinks in light, so everything looks cleaner. Now, let's talk software and AI. We are running iOS 26, and it's likely the last major update this phone will ever see. But here's the thing, for a lot of people, Apple Intelligence. This phone doesn't have enough NPU, and yeah, the RAM only has 4 gigabytes. That is a hard physical limit. It literally cannot run the new on-device AI features. Honestly, for me, it's not a huge deal because I just use alternatives like Gemini or ChatGPT if I need AI, but it does mean the iPhone 11 is basically a dumb phone. Compared to the smartphone experience on the 17, you miss out on all those system level AI like clean photos, summaries, and smart replies. Okay, before we wrap up, a few things you really need to consider. First, the port. This is Lightning, not USB-C, and it's USB 2.0 speeds. Transferring 4K video off this thing takes a long. If you upgrade to an iPhone 17 or even a 15 or 16, you're getting USB-C. Just one cable for everything is so much nicer. Second, the display refresh rate. 60 Hz is just old tech by 2026 standards. Every phone nowadays has 120 Hz. Once you see that smoothness, you can't unsee the chop on the iPhone 11. So, conclusion time. The iPhone 11 has had an incredible run. 6 to 7 years of support is something you rarely see. It's been a reliable companion and I still have a soft spot for this design. But honestly, it's time. The hardware aging is real. The heat, the battery drain, the lack of AI, the old display, it's all adding up. If you're still rocking an iPhone 11 in 2026, you deserve an upgrade. Moving to an iPhone 17 isn't just a small step. It's gonna feel like a massive leap into the future. If you're on the fence, I'd say go for it. Your patience has paid off. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments if you're still holding on to your 11 or if you're finally trading it in. Catch you in the next one.